2021. Laurel Music Camp. Staff Night. Oh, hold up. Staff Night. Darn it! Staff Night. Man, we should really proofread.
Staff Night? I love Staff Night. It's probably one of my favorite days of the entire week of camp. Hands down. I mean, we as a staff, we're a family, you know, and getting to reconvene every year and put together different ensembles and maybe solo acts or whatever, and just perform for the campers to show, you know, that music can persist for their entire life at all ages and all different walks and all different points of our life. We get to perform and do that thing and do it well. It's great to see that from year to year, and I love participating in it, and I love to see many of the ones who perform year to year, year after year, participate and see the new things they can bring to the table. It's great.
Sugar, sugar butterfly. Sometimes I still see her, my mother, the dreamer. She'd say nothing's impossible, child. A dream needs believing to taste like the real thing, like some stranger you recognize. So pure, so electric, so connected to those little believers inside. May we all be so lucky, but dreams are elusive. The kind we've gotten used to is nothing I can feel, nothing I can hold, nothing I can have, nothing I know. Dreams come and they go. So hold them and keep them, but hold them and keep them. Know that you need them, and know that you need them. Then your breaking points, all that you have. A dream is a soft place to land. May we all be so lucky. Sugar butterfly.
the staff is a big family, you know what I'm saying? We've been through it all. Joys and dangers of camp. Dangers? Typical camp dangers. Example? Well, I mean, here's a story I've recounted a few times, but back when I was a junior counselor, college-aged, my tent mate and I, another junior counselor, we'll call him Lyle, he and I are sleeping there in the dark. We're just passing out after a long day of work and fun, and it's, pitch black out and quiet. And out of the darkness, midnight or so up at Nathan Hale, wow! We hear this noise right outside our tent. Wow! Just like that. A couple seconds later, Lyle was like, "Hey, Don." Yeah? What was that? I don't know. And we hear it again, Just like that. I have to go to the latrine. Lyle was kind of in trouble at this point, and quite honestly, I didn't know what to tell him. I mean, I wasn't going to say, go out into the tent or anything, go outside of the tent or anything, but that's the way it was. And we just sat there, and I kind of, after a while, fell asleep. Whether or not Lyle made it to the latrine, I'm not prone, not able to say. I do know that the good news of this is that the next morning we find out it wasn't even an animal. It turns out our other junior counselor friend, Paul, who's in the tent right next to us, has a deviated septum. It's really, the staff has worked very hard over the years to sort of create an atmosphere of lunacy. We just, have those sort of call and response things that we've been throwing at campers for at this point, decades. And some of those things last forever, It's just those fun things that you can kind of bring home, say to your friends. They have no idea what you're talking about or why it's funny. It's all really just a big inside joke. Things that are funny to us at camp are not funny out in the real world. But man, are there some good stuff. I mean, Tornado Bear. I mean, that's a classic right there. Whenever somebody said something mildly amusing, it was always, now that's funny. That would often be said. When the phone call, there used to be a phone right outside the dining hall, and when it would call, somebody would call and say, hey, it's for this kid or this person, and everyone would say, it's mommy. Now, if you say that in the real world, haha, whatever, no big deal. But it was downright hysterical to the entire camp. And then there's the classic, look out, Joe, it's a platypus. That one's great. Oh, yes. And Flucky Blocky Donkey Gonk.
You were made, I was quieted by my love, and I will give every gift as a blessing for you, my love. You'll be like a tree planted by streams, and you'll grow in the love you are shown. And if you stray, I'll call out and wait for you to come home. When you come to my gates, I will run and embrace, saying this is my son or my love. When your sorrows and sins leave you empty again, I will be in your midst, cover you with gladness. I rejoice over you with loud singing. In the night, when you cry, I will quiet you by my love. Do not fear, I am here, I will cry every tear, my love. You'll be like a tree whose branches and leaves never wither or fall. They'll toss about my fears and doubts, just come as you are. When you come to my gates, I will run and embrace, saying this is my son whom I love. When you wander alone, I will make myself known and uphold every promise to you. When your sorrows and sins leave you empty again, I will be in your midst, cover you with gladness. I rejoice over you with loud singing. I am beside you, I am behind you, I go before you, I'll never leave you. I am beside you, I am behind you, I go before you, I'll never leave you. I am beside you, I am behind you, I go before you, I'll never leave you. I'll never leave you, I'll never leave you, I'll never leave you, I'll never leave you.
Seriously. Yeah. Our row called first every time for food. Backstage passes, hotel rooms free. Seriously, it really is a benefit to be friends and colleagues with someone with a master's degree in euphonium performance. It's amazing what it can do for your life.
This is a song about legitimate salvage. She went down last October in a pouring driving rain. The skipper he'd been drinking and the mate he felt no pain. Too close to 3 Mile Rock and she was dealt her mortal blow. And the Mary Ellen Carter settled low. There was just us 5 aboard her when she finally was awash. We worked like hell to save her, all heedless of the cost. And the groan she gave as she went down, it caused us to proclaim that the Mary Ellen Carter'd rise again. Well, the owners wrote her off, not a nickel they would spend. She gave 20 years of service, boys, then met her sorry end. But insurance paid the loss to us, so let her rest below. Then they laughed at us and said we had to go. But we talked to her all winter, some days around the clock. She's worth $250,000 afloating at the dock. With every jar that hit the bar, we swore that we'd remain and make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Rise again, rise again, that her name not be lost to the knowledge of men. All those who loved her best and were with her till the end will make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. All spring now we've been with her on a barge lent by a friend. 3 dives a day in a hard hat suit and twice I've had the bends. Thank God it's only 60 feet and the currents here are slow, or I'd never have the strength to go below. Well, we patched her rents, stopped her vents, dogged hatch and portholes down, put cables to her fore and aft and girded her around. Tomorrow noon we hit the air and then take up the strain and make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Rise again, rise again, that her name not be lost to the knowledge of men. All those who loved her best and were with her till the end will make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. For we couldn't leave her there, you see, to crumble into scale. She'd saved our life so many times, a-living through the gale. And the laughing drunken rats who left her to a sorry grave, they won't be laughing in another day. And you to whom adversity has dealt the final blow, with smiling bastards lying to you everywhere you go, turn to and put out all your strength of arm and heart and brain, and like the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Rise again, rise again, though your heart it be broken or life about to end. No matter what you've lost, be it a home, a love, a friend, like the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Rise again, rise again, though your heart it be broken or life about to end. No matter what you've lost, be it a home, a love, a friend, like the Mary Ellen Carter rise again.
Seriously. I mean, seriously, have you ever had cheese for every meal for an entire week?
Bicycles on paper, one hand on the handlebars, one eye on the umbrella. My ankles are getting wet, but I ain't sandy beaches where the water's warm in the afternoon. I can do no dolphin kick, but I can spin in circles, float till the rise of the moon. Let the waves roll, wash us to the shore. Nothing will sink our smiles. If there's no sun, I say nothing will sink our smiles. Let the rain fall, soak us to the bone. Nothing will sink our smiles. Ba 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 da ba, ba 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 da ba. Ooh, ba 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 da ba, ba 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 da ba.
Man, we've had some fun. Oh, the staff, we get into the spirit out of it, the whole thing, the whole camp experience, some of those cliche things that you've seen in the movies, pranks, they happened over the years. I remember, this is years ago at this point, but we decided to pull a prank as staff on the Boy Scouts of the camp. And late at night, a group of responsible individuals, we got together and, quite honestly, we snuck into the boathouse and took a few canoes out. I mean, what are you going to do? And one of the guys that was with us that night had never really been what one would call a sailor. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't used to the boats, but he got into the canoe. We put him in the center of the canoe, and two more experienced people were on the bow and stern, and we bring these canoes out onto the floating raft of the lake, and we start putting them up like a log cabin on the raft. The diving raft in the swimming area. So when the Boy Scouts wake up, they find all their canoes are out there, and there's this little log cabin out on the raft, which was amusing to begin with. But the fun, of course, is seeing them have to go and put it all away. But these kinds of pranks, they're harmless and so forth. But here's the thing: we got so carried away with putting the canoes up in the cabin formation on the raft. That we, of course, needed one canoe to go back and forth to the land, but we ended up just swimming back. But we forgot about the other guy that we put in the canoe in the center. He never got out of the raft. He was just in the canoe, and he had no idea what he was doing. So in the pitch of night, he must have floated out on the lake somewhere. And you know what? He must have got lost because... camp, we haven't seen him since. I mean, Josh hasn't been to camp in years.
Penny in
I mean, for my entire time, my involvement with the camp as a camper, as a junior counselor, as a senior staff member, it was always at Camp Workomen, and that was what I, of course, conceived as my, that's what camp was. That was the home. And, it was just over the last, several years, though, we have this tradition at camp. It's called the Class A. Yeah, you've seen that. Yeah. So at the end of this thing, people tended to stomp on the ground, on the floor of the dining hall. And this, of course, got the Boy Scout staff very disappointed in us whenever we would do it. And we ended up getting sort of this little mantra of stop stopping, or no stopping, right? Well, there was one year, boom, and, all those people who just don't listen stomped, and bam, through the floor, whole thing caved in, the floor of the dining hall came down, we're all in the basement now, tables akimbo, you know what I'm saying? And, the camp director was not pleased. Anyway, we're at Mattituck this year.
Don't go yet. We still have one more performance for you. But we wanted to thank you for watching another edition of Virtual Staff Night. We'll see you next year, in person, in 2022. Until then, we can't wait to have you back.
I didn't want you around. Those pretty faces always make you stand out in a crowd. But someone picked you from the bunch. One glance was all it took.